Sure.
Scare. Ooh, that's not what I want. That's not what I want you guys to see. What's going on, guys?
Just a gain on my
It's just a patch. All right, cool. There we go. There we go. There we go. And
oh
let
man.
everybody settle in. This is gonna be a field day of topics, man. This is really gonna be a lot of stuff going on. Let me take a look here. That's what's his name. So let me know when you guys are ready. So each, okay,
I'm ready whenever you are, man.
okay. Just wanted to check
Just
something
take
out.
a sip of water here.
All right, let me brighten my room up a little bit, and here we go. Ouch. Welcome to the No Filter Podcast. We got three subjects today. I mean, it's so much information, so much shit, so much to talk about, and not enough time. Not enough time to talk about it. So we are going to go straight into it. First and foremost, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It makes a world of difference. It really does help. I want to try to grow the channel as big as I can. Another weird thing that's been going on, I've been getting subscribers and then losing them, which is kind of like strange. I don't know what the hell that's all about. I haven't done anything like, on the channel itself. So it's just, whatever. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Regardless of the matter, we are going to try to press on. Ken the Dishonorable, welcome. One of a good friend of mine.
What's
He
up?
he he comes here whenever he can. And it really does help. So that being said, how are you doing?
Doing all right, man. Just chilling. Um, what about you, man? What's up?
Well, I mean, I'm about to dive, swine dive like Aloy did in these topics. She definitely did do a swine dive.
Yeah.
What have you been doing lately? Um, just in general, like
Um,
in the gaming world.
uh, well, I actually started playing Returnal again. Um, I just uh I just finished Biome 3. I'm in Biome 4 right now, and I got my ass kicked. So, but yeah, in the gaming world, man, yeah, I mean, just I was playing Returnal. It's pretty much it, man. I'm really kind of just waiting for Ratchet and Clank to come out, dude. To be honest, I keep saying it every week, but I'm like really looking forward to that game. And I don't know, like after that Horizon trailer, I'm looking forward to that too. So
There's a lot of people
it's
that
gonna
were
be hard
saying
to wait.
they're going.
And I said it's gonna be hard to wait.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that kept saying that. I caught a couple people say that it wasn't impressive. This one guy, I was watching. I was taking a shower, and I usually let the YouTube videos go. And he was like, "Good, this game is, I'm not that impressed. It's not one of the best looking games. I mean, it's good looking, but it's not one of the best." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here, dude." Anyway, we'll get into that. Uh, I can't.
If you've never seen graphics, they can really shock you and confuse you.
Well, the thing is, his argument was because of the cross gen. So this is what we're going to be talking about, one of the subjects. But before we go on, how are you, Jeremy? What have you been up to, gaming wise? Did you beat all three Mass Effects?
Uh, I beat the first two. I played that your game, Ken, that you're waiting for. Square Enix. Why is the name slipping my mind right now?
Square Enix.
The
Which
demo
one?
was Scarlet Nexus.
Oh,
Played
Scarlet
that
Nexus.
demo,
Yeah.
and I've been playing Tekken too.
Okay. Yeah, I saw you play Tekken. That was interesting. Yeah, I did see that. As for myself, well, I beat Returnal. I am happy to see that Returnal within like what 2 days of the month, MPD shows that it tracks number 8. So I'm super happy about that. Super happy. I know Housemark put a number out there that like what is it, 9 million deaths or something like that was calculated, and I just kind of estimated out maybe 100 deaths per person. I don't feel like their numbers are accurate when it comes to that, but because they were having a lot of issues anyway with some of the gameplay mechanics, such as when you die, it's supposed to populate, and you're supposed to have like a risk reward system going on with that too. But I beat it. I am working on the platinum of that game. There's been a lot of people try to help me out, man. I have my own process of, and I do appreciate it, but I have my own process of, beating games. It's just you can't just tell me to do something. You have to explain to me why to do it and why not. And my way of processing information is I really, you really dig deep down. Anyway, we got three topics, right? And then we have a current event topic. First and foremost, it's going to be Horizon Zero Dawn, or Horizon Forbidden West, and all the shit that's coming on with that one. It's going to be E3 2021, which I don't know where this hype is coming from. That was kind of a curious thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody's hyped for this shit now, but what? Okay. And just Sony's strategy in general versus Microsoft's strategy. So I am kind of curious to see. I just want to compare the two. I mean, I've done this before. I know Sony did just a little snippet of this. Sony did state that they were going to do more games as a service, which I did kind of predict it. I predicted this because it makes a lot of fucking money. I mean, it wasn't like it was an educated assessment. So, and then we're going to talk about my little current events thing. I ran across a really weird article that was kind of congratulating women for growing their facial hair, and they feel like women should be empowered to grow facial hair. Uh, okay. Anyway, so let's get right into it. Horizon Forbidden West. So there's a couple things that I've picked up on that I couldn't really dig into on that little short ass video that I've done. So first and foremost, there are some gameplay implications that I really did like. I feel like when it comes to a developer, you may have seen Aloy actually use her focus to kind of highlight things that she can climb on. I don't feel like it's relegated to just specific things. I think she can, in general, climb on things. It's just that the paradigm shift of the first game, and just in general, like Sony's first party games, they always had little painted ledges, And I feel like this is their way of kind of like guiding you into their new way of making their game. So I feel like she would be able to climb a lot. Also, you could never jump and then have Aloy grab something that's higher than her. It was always waist high, so she would vault over it, and that was the end of it, which was kind of weird. This time she can grab onto things, which is pretty cool. She's a lot more mobile and feline cat-like, which is pretty cool. She has that little grappling hook that you can either do horizontal or vertical. And then she has the straight ripped from Breath of the Wild hang glider thing, which I feel like that's going to have really cool implications too. I think it's going to be really cool. I can imagine there's going to be like a high ledge and there's going to be like secret areas, and she's going to use that to kind of glide over there. The other thing I did notice is that the mounts look like they're going to have more functionality, such as like you're going to use the Velociraptor machine to traverse over like, kind of like rough terrain, and use like the regular horses and rams or whatever the case is to go fast on flat terrain. Because you saw in the video there was like a current that she couldn't swim through. You may need an aquatic machine after you override it to have you kind of press through with that one too. So I feel like the mounts are going to definitely have a bigger role. And last but not least, the combat for the what do you call it, melee combat. I feel like with that melee combat, she is going to be. They said she has combos, and if you notice, they took taking the armor pieces off straight from the machines. That's going to add a lot more richness to it, which is going to be really cool. I'm really stoked for it. But that brings up another question. We've seen Dying Light Part 2, and then we've seen this game, and I don't know.
They should have went beforehand.
What do you say?
They should have went before.
It would,
before Horizon.
bro. Like I don't even think that.
Nobody cares about that shit right now.
No, I mean I do. I'm a big fan of Dying Light, and I'm
I know
glad
you
to.
are.
I'm
I'm
glad
just
to
saying
see.
it would have had a lot more energy behind it if it would have went before that shit.
I'm glad to see though. I am so glad to see that they pulled it together. It's just that Guerrilla Games has a way of shitting on everything. It's it's not fair. It's not fair. It's
I mean,
disrespectful.
except for Naughty Dog though.
So anyway, so yeah, they're them and their fucking corridor shooters. It's so easy to make a beautiful game where you can only
I was
go
gonna say that today too.
where you can go only go forward and backwards. It's so easy to do that. That's what they did with Crash. So that's a
I
DNA thing with
mean, The
them.
Last of Us Part Two is probably the best game ever. So I mean, I'm just
So
saying.
what we're going to talk about here is, um, so that raises some implications. How were they able to make this game look the way that it does? How is the PS4 going to run? There were a lot of concerns about it being cross-gen, and including me, how I didn't see this. I mean, I know you can lower the resolution, you can make less detailed characters, you could probably remove uh, the water physics in terms of the it actually rippling and waving. The cloud system for certain things. I mean, I know they could do a lot of things, and I'm pretty sure. Hey, yo, bitch! I see you, Jemiah. Uh, there's a lot of things that they could do. If you want to jump in here, jump right the fuck in there, man. It's always open for you, bro. Um, it's really when you look at it, I don't know how they're able to do it, and we'll see soon enough. There are some things I think next gen gamer, I forgot what his name is. He ended up kind of showing some things, little weaknesses and stuff like that. But people don't know how engines work in general, um, and engines are tied to its hardware. So even if you put it on more powerful hardware, you don't update the engine, it's going to have the limit that it's programmed to do. If you only program it to render 3 polygons, it doesn't matter what hardware you put it on, it'll always be limited to 3 polygons unless you reprogram it to do more. And I think that's going to take time. I think they really did spend a lot of the time making sure that it works. The gameplay wise, I feel like they made sure that works too, and that goes, and now I'll let you guys talk from this point on. This is the thing that I want to say, and yo, what's going on, bro? And I wanted to kind of say this. I truly believe, I really do believe that Horizon Forbidden West on the PlayStation 4 is going to be segmented into different parts, whereas just to help with the streaming and help with the amount of memory that they can only have within their system memory. So I think there's going to be segmented off, kind of like Ghost of Tsushima. So to have this section here, and then you could do whatever, and then you're going to have the next section, you could do whatever. Whereas PS5, you could just go straight through without any kind of limitations. The question for the whole panel, right? What do you, how do you feel about Horizon Forbidden West and what you've seen, and just the cross-gen nature of games in general?
I mean,
Give me 1 second. Hold
personally,
on. No, you could just, yo, I'm in Discord. Just jump right in. There's no link. Go on.
I mean, personally, obviously the game looks really really good, man. As a matter of fact, it's surprisingly good, knowing that the game is going to run on the PS4 as well. Um, I mean, I don't really know exactly how they're going to make it run on the PS4, but it's very, very surprising to me how good the game actually looks. Part of me is wondering if 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 why the game looks so good is due to things like lighting and things like that. Because I don't know if that just adds a sort of different effect to the way the game, like the style of the game, that makes it look maybe like appear that it's better. I don't know, but I mean the game looks incredibly good, incredibly well. I mean I don't really have really anything like really bad to say about it. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't really understand like all of the technology behind it, but I was watching some stuff and and I was wondering, like if like for example, I was watching I know you probably don't really like the dude too much, but that Cherno guy, he did a reaction
Who?
for it and he was kind of going over some of the
Who?
Cherno.
Who? Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. No, I don't dislike him. It's just that I feel like he gets too caught up in the console wars. I don't feel like he understands the console wars, and he's probably like, what the fuck? And people were like blasting him for that shit. But did you see the video, right,
Yeah.
where he was just like he like seemed underwhelmed?
Yeah, I saw the video. He
What's
did
going on,
point out a
Jemiah?
few things, Um, like for example, he was talking about how like when you were fighting on the sand or when they were fighting on the sand in the demo, it had really good reaction to your movement, things like that. Um, and he did say that he noticed a little bit of clipping, like where Aloy was falling through the ground and things like that. Um, but then he also mentioned that earlier in the demo, like when she was walking through some of the foliage and stuff like that, it just didn't react the same way. And he didn't know if it was like
It was
if it
actually
was
that's the
just
thing. It was actually moving. It was,
it was. It was, but
but
it like one of the things that he mentioned was that it just didn't react like similar to, and I know it's not sand, but he mentioned like when you imprint the grass or something like that, it wasn't reacting in that way. So it was just kind of like a rudimentary, you just walk through the foliage and like
it
her foot
jiggles.
sort of like clips through the foliage. Yeah,
So I mean,
essentially.
but like,
So
it's not
I
many
mean,
games that allow that bends. Basically, this is what happens when you have like foliage, and then I'm gonna let Jeremy speak because one of the things, and then we can go back to you, and then Jemiah. So when you make foliage, right, you do have like animation joints, right, or joints for the leaves or whatever the case is. And what they do to save on resources is that Aloy would basically have, she would be like a sphere that moves, and then that sphere would actually animate the joints, giving the illusion of flattening. So it's nothing complicated as he was like. It's not like they have a collision for like down to the detail for a foot, and it crushes on their hand. No one's gonna do that. It's a waste of resources. So it just to me it was just like weird that he was kind of pointing out certain things. He's like, "Oh, I don't like the lighting here. Oh, it just to me it's just blurry." I think he rushed and saw it and didn't really sit down and understand what was going on. And then he mentioned Ratchet and Clank too. And I'm like, Ratchet and Clank does not have like a cycle, a day and night cycle, nor is it open world either. So, but anyway, Jeremy, what you think?
I think it looked great. I mean, one thing I noticed, the AI is smart as shit. That's gonna be a pain in the
Yo,
ass.
wasn't it like Jurassic Park?
See him
Somebody said
flanking
that.
him, flanking her.
I think it was
Yo, did you see when she was running? They were climbing up those goddamn. You could see them in the background climbing. They were trapping your ass.
yeah, they were trying to, and then I've made a video and they were like jumping across the water. Now I was looking at a Digital Foundry video. One of the guys, I think it was the
Yeah, they were
Alex
cutting
dude.
her off. They were boxing her in. That's why she took the water.
Yeah, but he asked the Alex dude. He was like, "Why didn't they follow her, nigga? They're not aquatic machines. It's not that they can't drown, but they wouldn't be able to move under fucking water like that. It'd be a waste." Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, what the fuck? And then on top of it, the storyline basically states that they're not trying to kill humans necessarily. They want them to stop killing machines so they can, terraform the world. So it's not like they're killers. They want them to stop. Is what's going on. Jemiah, what's going on, bro? What's your take on
What's up?
Forbidden West and the cross-gen nature of it? Well, first of all, what's your take on
My
what you
thing
saw?
is,
What you saw? What is your take on that? And then tackle the cross-gen.
oh, what I saw, this shit's phenomenal. Like, I'm blown away. This is like more than I even expected. You know what I mean? Like the level of detail,
And this
just
is a
the level
PC
of
nigga. This is a PC nigga saying that he was blown away. That's
I know that. I was like, who the hell is this?
just the level of detail, the animations. Like when she's gliding, you can see her like armor billowing in the wind and shit. Like people are talking about grass bending and shit like that. Like, come on, man. Like this is still a game. Like I don't understand how people are trying to make these ultra realistic expectations of games when you know that
PlayStation has
technology.
higher standards.
It
Like
doesn't
it's
matter. And technology in period is not doing that. Nobody's gonna touch every blade of grass. That's impossible. Like, you know what I mean? Like
It's like, are
any
we
game you
really
play, if you're
nitpicking
running through
about
the
that?
woods,
One of the things he did say too, he was like, well, her hair is tethered, which is like give it the screen door effect. When it comes to transparencies, they save on bandwidth by every other pixel being rendered instead of all of the pixels being rendered. There's a lot of shit going on the screen. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It is an open
yeah,
world. It's a lot of
like
shit.
as far as the clipping goes, if you seen that NVIDIA demo of the RTX 3090, they have technology that lets you like not clip, but it would be so expensive. You would need like an $8,000 PS5. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people understand the limitations of technology
In general,
to be talking about clipping. You know what I mean? Yeah, like come on, man. Like you see like the wooden stuff falling off the back of that trimmer tusk. Like the amount of things going on right now in these scenes are like miraculous to be done on this PS5.
I'm
So
actually
I find it
impressed.
strange people are nitpicking about
I'm impressed that you
yeah.
know the name. That means that you're a real fan. Yo. I'm really impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
Like look at like is this like people are just nitpicking just to nitpick. Like if you don't like the game, just say you don't like the game. But there's nothing I can say negative about this thing. Also, I want to point out this is probably still an early build. So if the game's coming out in October or something like that, they still got months and months to, improve on clipping, improve on detection. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot still going on. Like people see the first video and now they're already jumping off the roof talking mad shit. Like look how she moves. Her armor shifts around her body. You know what I mean?
They were saying
Like
something like
when she moves her
her
arms,
hair
the
went
arm
through our shoulders. Like, are we fucking for real? What are we doing? What are
like
we doing?
yeah, like it's like people are nitpicking. It's still a game. Every game has clipping at
Jesus.
some point. Like we can't pretend like we're gonna have this unrealistic standard for Sony just because like we want to take shots at the game.
People already have an unrealistic expectation of Sony.
It is
I
really
think
high.
what they
People are like,
shown
oh, they're
is
still using
beyond my
screen. They were
expectations.
like, and that
This
was
is
still my
crazy. I mean,
expectation was low. I was like, it's cross gen. I mean, I have to really, really keep myself down. But like, oh, they're still using screen space reflections, nigga. Every
I
game
don't
does to
no,
a degree. They certain
right.
things like, what are we doing?
these people aren't used to a lot of open world games either,
This is open world,
or
and
this third or third person too. So you have to have cameras on everything. It's not just what the fuck's in front of your face.
like as far as
There's a
cross
lot more that
gen
goes to it.
goes, I only as far as cross gen goes, the graphics aren't going to be hindered by cross gen. That's not how development works. My only concern is the flying. It's are they gonna have flying in this game and not on the PS4, or are they gonna have it on the PS4? Because if they couldn't do it on the PS4 the first time, I don't know how they're magically gonna just somehow be able to do it this time. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
That's my
they
only
see the thing
concern. But
about
as
it
far as
is,
graphics go,
My bad, fam. I
it,
lost track of time.
so,
that's cool. One of the things I will say, right, about the flying is that, or about the engine. The engine, they have to eventually get it out, and there's always ways of helping or improving your engine. Like you seen Ghost of Tsushima, yo, and how fast it loaded and how small the game is. So if they know how to compress certain data, like I said, I think the way that they're going to solve it without slowing down the mounts or whatever the case is that the entire island, kind of like you guys remember GTA 3, like each island was, you could do whatever you want within each one. I feel like there's not going to be any loading times with the PS5 version, but for the PS4 version, when you get out of that area, then just to make sure that they don't like stuff the memory or strain the streaming system, you go through that island and that island and that island. Um, we're about to move on to the next topic, but before we do, I'm going to give Kilate a platform here. So 2 questions here. Your impressions of Horizon Forbidden West and the cross-gen, and then the second question is, how do you feel about the cross-gen implications?
For Horizons Forbidden West.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, First, I like what I seen. Hopefully,
Oh God.
This dude is
hopefully,
Xbox.
There is
360.
no.
He
Hopefully
sounds a bit
there's no.
disappointed.
No, no. I'm not overly excited for Horizon and West because it took me so long to beat the first one because it was slow at the beginning and
Why
then it
do
picked
people
up
keep
like
saying?
halfway through the game.
Time out,
For
time out,
me,
time out, time out, time out,
I
time out,
mean,
time out, time out, time out. This is an open world game. The pacing is set by you. So if you're running around doing a bunch of dumb shit, it's gonna be slow paced. If you want to just run through and do all the missions, you can do that, and it will be a faster paced game. Like people, I don't
hold up.
understand people
I
Hold
was
up,
gonna, I was
how
gonna
you
sit back.
mad about how I played the game, man?
because
I mean,
people are playing the
if
game and then they're saying the game is slow,
I
but they're
mean,
the ones doing
yeah,
it slow.
but
That's your
this
fault.
is my opinion on the game. The
Eh,
story was slow
Yo,
How
let
was the
me let
story
me ask
slow?
at the
let me ask you
beginning.
something real quick, yo.
Shit.
Let me
No.
ask you something, man. Did you enjoy Red Dead Redemption 2?
It was okay. I mean, that shit was slow too.
That shit was way slower than Horizon.
I
Way
mean,
slower.
it's still. I mean, the fact of the matter is both games started out slow and picked up later on in the game. I
I
mean,
don't know if
to
I've
me,
ever played an open world game
it's
that
not
didn't.
it's not like I said the game was fucking terrible.
No, but my thing is when it comes to pacing of an open world games, that's on the player. Like you can say Ghost is slow. If you
I
just
mean,
fucking ran around
it's a lot of open world fucking games that was fucking fast paced at the beginning,
like what?
Like what?
like
I'd like
fucking
to
Spider
know.
Man, like fucking The Last of Us One,
That's not even an open
like
world
The Last of
game.
Us is an
fucking.
open
That's
world game.
not
It was
open
Last
like,
of Us
one.
One, not open world. That shit's so linear. Yo, Spider Man, I'll give you Spider Man, but Spider Man has a crazy
I
traversal.
mean,
That I mean, it's just a different
even
story.
fucking Batman was fucking fast paced.
And that was still.
He in a lot smaller area too.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a lot of small. When you say fast paced, what do you explain to me fast paced? You mean like combat or action, or you mean like the actual
I mean
story beats?
the
Like,
actual story beat.
but like in Horizon, you can
What's
just
going on,
do the
Pug?
story. You can just go from
But
point to point and point to
but
point.
you gotta also take in consideration plays open world games just to go through the story. If you just go through the story, you're not gonna fucking want to do the game. I mean, even fucking Ghost of Tsushima was fast paced at the beginning. Even with the side mission itself, still played a part in the fucking. So I mean,
I'm gonna have to disagree on that one. I feel like Ghost was a
The
little
first
slower.
chapter was
I
kind of
mean,
slow.
it's
They're all
okay
slow.
I mean, it's okay that if I feel like it was slow paced to me and it wasn't, it's okay.
All right, all right, all right,
I
all
didn't
right,
say
all
No,
right, all right.
Horizon
Because we
Zero Dawn was
listen,
bad.
listen,
It was
listen. We
fucking-
got a limited amount of time. Thoughts on it?
Yeah.
All right, you saw it. What did you like? What you didn't like? Go.
I like everything. I liked everything about it. I like everything I see. It looked like a big step up from the first game.
What you didn't like?
I I don't know. I mean, we only seen that snippet of the beginning part of the game, so I actually have to play the game to actually real a real fucking answer what I don't like.
So
But
you were
so
you were
far, I am
impressed
pleased
with what
with
you
I
saw. Limited time meaning that we have two other topics to talk about, three other technically, and I want to kind of
Yeah. Well,
get them in
I'm
there.
impressed with what I see. I hope the cross
I hope your
game
internet is
doesn't
better.
hinder it. I hope it doesn't hinder the game itself, which I doubt it will, but I am looking forward to it. That's going to be a day one buy for me.
In the trailer, right? In the trailer, did you notice? Did you feel that the cross gen was hindered the game graphically?
Not from what I see, no.
Because that's what I'm curious about too. I mean, if they could pull that off, because I'm gonna tell you, Jemiah, definitely, there will be flying in there. Especially the hang glider thing is implication of that as well. That you can go high and glide. I feel like it will be in there. Like I said before, I feel like each area is going to be contained with their own story beats. If you look at the map at the end of the game where Aaron gave her that little code or the little device, and you have different areas to select, which if you look at it, it's telling you where the storms are at, and that's where they're kind of like trying to tackle, like, why are the storms happening in the first place. So that device is showing you the different storms. So it's like some kind of glorified weather system. But regardless of the matter, I personally feel like if they can pull off the stuff, because the AI was smart in for Horizon Zero Dawn, It's just that
Yeah.
the zones, if you walk too far out, then they'll stop chasing you. And the reason why is because each zone had its own memory limitations. So if you add a machine in there that didn't belong, it was going to crash the game because it was full. The memory was full at that point. That's what they explained.
Yep.
Gorilla Game.
Yep. There were a lot of cool little details in that gameplay trailer, man, that I was actually really surprised by, man. Um, just the way that they improved on, obviously some of the combat mechanics and the animations, man. That was one of the ones that actually
A
kind of took
lot
me
of
by
people talked
surprise.
about the water swimming. A lot of
Yeah.
people. I
This,
talked to my friend that's not really big on graphics. He was like, that impressed me.
yo, I'm telling you, like when she was swimming under the water, I was super impressed by that, man. And I know a
Yeah.
lot of people
It
were
was
talking.
impressive.
It was because like specifically the part when she's like swam downwards and she was hiding in the foliage from the snap maw. Like I was like, oh shit, like just the way her you could literally see her weight shift, you know what I'm saying? As she was going down like swimming downwards. You know what I mean?
And
And it all
it's funny.
moved
He
so
said
dynamic.
my friend told me, he said there was like 4 different animations for the swimming. You know what I mean? Which is like, and they all blended together seamlessly. Now, the blending happened in the first game. It's just that they didn't have that many animations, probably because of the limitations of their streaming. Who knows what the fuck it was, but they didn't have it. Just know that. I will say this. Go on. Sorry. Finish your comment. I apologize.
No, that was pretty much it, man. I mean, I was really impressed with some of the animations and stuff like that, man. Specifically, it really stood out to me. I mean, we were talking, I think, what was it, yesterday or something, and I mentioned about the animation of her vaulting over stuff. I don't know. I don't remember that being in the first game. Um, but it seemed like she was a little bit more reactive to her environment. You know what I mean?
It
Or
was
maybe
quick.
it
It
could have
was
just been a
quick
scripted
and
sequence.
it was quick and it was only if it was waist high. I got to find a video, but I will say this: the AI was the biggest thing that impressed me. That's what I'm looking forward to. And Jemiah knows I'm like a big on AI. The way that the Velociraptors, just like Jeremy said, they kind of cut her off, and they were just
Yeah.
ferocious. They were like, "Yo, you're not as long as you're on land, you're not getting the fuck away." Like,
We're
and
surrounding you and we're gonna get your ass.
it was so
Period.
bad
Yeah.
that she needed a smoke grenade to try to break the line of sight, and they still ended up like calculating where she may be at and cut her off there. Like I was like, "What the fuck?" And then she's like
Yeah, it
climbing that
seems the
thing,
AI can have a prediction. They can like predict where she's trying to do. Kind of. It looks like.
and then they were kept
Yeah, they
climbing
could see
higher
where
and
they were
higher. I
heading,
was
and
like,
they were going
Yeah.
up to the. They were cutting her off.
They were in packs. So it was kind of
They were
yeah.
anticipating what she was
Yeah, they
doing.
were
straight
Yeah.
anticipating.
Jurassic Park, yo.
They looked like they were spelled out. Yeah, they looked like they were spread out too, just so they could eyes on
You know,
time.
to,
I like
uh,
that.
another thing on the topic of the AI too, because it seems like the human AI as well has been improved. Like in the first game, man, it was pretty basic for the most part, the encounters that you had with the humans. You could either like stand back, shoot them from afar or something like that, or just pelt them with some arrows or whatever, right? And they would just die. In this one, it seems like the human AI is a lot more engaging. Um, and it looks like they're trying to improve on that. Like you mentioned in your video, Josh, about them doing counters and shit like that. Like, like it seems like they're really trying to like bring the experience with the human part of it, like to the next level. You know
They
what I
didn't
mean?
have enough time, and I
Um,
think we were talking about that as well when it comes to Hellblade. They didn't have enough time to really flesh out the. They worked on their strengths, which is the shooting. They said in a documentary that the melee was really good and far along, but the actual ranged combat suffered, so they pulled back. So I was like, oh shit. So you had situations like that, and I'm like, oh man, like it. And then on top of it, they really leaned into taking off the armor, with the AI. By the way, that group of people, which is called a Tanakh, they were in the first game.
knock.
Yeah, and the clothes that she's wearing is from that tribe. And I wonder how that's going to work out the outfits. But continue, Ken.
Uh, I mean that was pretty much it, man. It just looked like they're trying to make the interactions with the humans a lot more interesting. That was that was one of the biggest problems that I had with the first game, whether it was just they didn't have enough time to, you know, flesh it out like they wanted to or whatever. But I like the fact that they're kind of making the human interactions a little bit more akin to the actual machines. Because in the demo you could see she was shooting and it was hitting like armor plates. So it's almost like you have to approach the situation in a similar way. You know what I mean? You have to peel off the armor, things like that, and then you attack the weak point. Like if you noticed when she was fighting, not the first one that she killed, but the second one, she did her whatever her like little 2-3 hit combo, and it broke the breastplate off, and you could see it come off, and then you saw her aim her bow, and she shot him in the chest, and he died. So it's stuff like that.
You can see that right now in a little clip, like the counter. She
Yeah,
tried
I just
to.
Yeah,
want to say, real quick, Josh. Like, as far as like the cross-gen holding back, if they put out just what they put out, a little, but more polished, I'm fine with that. Like, I did not when I saw this shit, PS4 never entered my mind, and I
It didn't
don't
either.
care how the PS version 4 looks. I don't care what's in the version. I don't care if you can fly or crawl or walk. I see the PS5 version right here. What they showed me was phenomenal. I want to play that. I'm not focusing on what could have been and what not could have been. From what they showed me, I'm happy already. So I don't understand why people's minds always go to, well, this could have been better, that could have been better. Are you enjoying what you're seeing right now? Like, can we
I
just,
was,
you know what I
I
mean?
was, I was absolutely like, this is going to look cross-gen for sure. Like, it's going to be like Miles Morales, and that's how that's going to be. That's what I was thinking to myself, and I was fucking blown the fuck away. Blown away. I was blown away. I don't know if it's because my expectations was low, and just like what Kratos said, keep your expectations low, boy. You would never be disappointed. But this, I was like, bro, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yo, but part one is still a beautiful game. So I don't even understand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they could just
people,
have part two on the PS4 at the same fidelity as part one. It's still a beautiful looking game.
but remember, people are talking about Aloy's face being fat, so you know,
We're
you
not
know
even
what?
gonna entertain that.
You know what I saw somebody say, man? Somebody was like, they made Aloy look more ugly.
She looks the
And it's like,
same.
she has
she
more
looks
details.
exactly the
She has
same,
more
dude.
Yeah,
details in
exactly.
her face. The sun being extra fucking hot and her being a little burnt. It is what it is. It's a hot fucking area. That's A. B, like, she looked like a fucking mannequin. Everybody looked like mannequins in the first game. Now you're able to see, like, crow's feet or smiling lines and shit like that. It's a rough.
Even if you played for Frozen Wilds, you can tell that the NPC animations were kicked up from
It
the base game.
was. It was. It's a lot of things that was going on in the first one, so I'm getting both versions of Horizon. You fanboy. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next subject here. The next one is E3 2021. Now, this has been a point of topic for me personally because I'm thinking to myself, right? When did E3 become important? I thought it stopped in 2017 or 18. I thought people didn't give a
You
fuck
talking
about
about when
E3.
Sony didn't go?
Say that again.
You talking about when Sony didn't go?
That's what it seemed like to
That's
me.
when most people said it.
That's when
That's when
E3
most people
died.
said E3 wasn't important.
They said, fuck that shit.
And then we had the pandemic, so we didn't even have anything there. So, no, that's even more of a like, people. I don't know what people are I don't know what people are anticipating because Sony's not there. Which, by the way, they actually showed that their state of play is super fucking successful, like dumb successful. It's cost effective and it has more engagement. This in hours did 3 million views in a few hours. In a few hours, did 3 million. So my
Isn't it
question to
like
you,
their biggest day to play?
it's their biggest day to play. It's their biggest day to play. It's been getting larger and larger each time they've done it because at first they kind of was trying to feel around to see how they were going to do it, and then now they got their groove as to how they want to kind of manufacture the state of plays. Um, so I ask again. Let me ask you this question, you guys. What are you looking forward to with this E3 in 2021? I'll wait.
I just That's the only reason why I watch these
I'm sorry, say it again.
new games and where. I just want to see new games. That's the only reason why I watch it, just to see what new coming up, what I need to order on that day.
Do you have anything in particular, any body in particular that you were looking for?
Huh?
Or do you have any body, any company specifically that you're looking for games?
You
Yeah,
been
it don't
like a
matter with the
motherfucker,
company.
yeah.
Who, me?
It don't matter with the company. You know me.
Wait, stop.
If
Who's botting?
No, I said you're baiting like a motherfucker.
Oh, all right, go on.
I don't care what company shows the game. If you know me, if the game interests me, I'm gonna fucking pre-order that bit off that day anyway.
So, what game? What
So-
company though? What company do you have an affinity for?
It don't matter what company. I'm not looking for the company. I'm looking for the game.
So I'll put myself out there. So if it wasn't Sony, which they're not there, so let me take off my Sony fanboy hat.
Please,
Techland
dude.
was one thing I was looking forward to. I really wanted to see what was going on with Dying Light 2. I still like what I see. It's unfortunate that it came
Didn't
after.
they
They
show
did,
gameplay?
but here's the
this
thing:
one?
in the release date, the problem here is that, well, then what the fuck is the use for E3? Like I was waiting for E3 at least for that. Techland removed that reason by showing what they showed. It's unfortunate that they showed it after Horizon. Ooh, that was unfortunate. But nonetheless, I'll still pick it up December 21st. But that's what I
Yo,
was
real
looking
quick
for.
though, I saw that
Yeah,
I saw
I
that
had
fucking
that shit been
demo
on.
like on a trailer, and that shit looked like 8K. I was like, why didn't the fucking when he first showed it, that shit didn't look like what I saw in this fucking commercial. I was like, God damn, that shit looked totally
Wait,
different.
whose video? Whose
Yeah,
video?
I had Dying Light.
It
I
was
had
it
Dying
was
Light pre-ordered.
it was just
the
sorry, it was
first
just
time
a commercial before one of the it was just like a Dying Light commercial for the pack, like pre-order now.
Uh-huh.
The fucking fidelity in the commercial was like 10 times higher than the actual thing they showed
I
off,
did
which is
peep
confusing
that.
to me.
It was really
Yeah.
weird. I don't know if it was a stream that did it. It said 4K, but for some reason it was extra crispy on the commercial.
I mean,
Let me
look
ask.
Look how long they've been. That shit been in development. That shit better look extra tasty.
I mean, it's still with all of that time frame, it still got crushed by Horizon. But regardless,
It is. But I had that shit pre-ordered since they first showed that month.
that's one of my favorite. I'm going to tell you right now, I've had good times with that game. I mean, I like what they're doing. I like that they switched it up. But to be honest with you, that game had so much gameplay. It was very hard to try to figure out what the fuck else could they do other than story. So they're adding more melee options and they're keeping it fun. So I'm liking. But going back to the
I'm
topic,
glad
because
they're keeping it crafting.
yeah, going back to the topic. Unfortunately, Killer Tay is not being the most honest on the panel. Jemiah, what were you looking out
Why
for?
am I not being honest?
La.
I'm not
What were you
being
looking for, Jemiah?
Fuck you, nigga.
I was supposed to call you out. Jemiah, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What were you looking forward to for E3?
I don't know. I just want to see new IPs. Like, if anything, I don't know. I don't care who shows it. I just want to see a new IP. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sick of all these sequels. People want the sequel every goddamn 5 minutes. Like, I get it, but I just want to see a new IP. Maybe some GTA 6 or some Elder Scrolls 6, like something like that. You know what I mean?
They ain't sure no GT nothing.
Nah,
GTA
you
5.
get that GT5 again. Nigga.
I mean,
Yeah,
they,
you're gonna
they,
be
yeah, they're
super
definitely,
disappointed.
yeah.
I
mean,
get
I'm
what you're
not-
saying, though.
like,
I get what
to
you're
me,
saying, but
yeah, like to me, like people like get crazy about these shows, like, oh, this shit was a 4 or 2. It's like, bro, like somebody like if I could see one game I liked, then that's enough for me. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll see. I don't know.
they scared
I don't
Sony.
have any expectations. You know what I mean? Like, I wish that Halo would come out and be a movie. Like, to me, like when I first got to Halo, Halo was like Halo was like first in class. You know what I mean? And now, if, like how far Halo dropped, it's like it's kind of crazy. Like, I don't understand. So hopefully Halo has a great showing, because I'm still a Halo fan from back in the day. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, Sony's not there, so you can't really say, you know. what you
Sony's
would want
not
to
gonna
see
be
from.
at this E3.
No,
I
they
don't
stopped.
think
Yo, you know
not
when
directly.
you know when they stopped. You know when they stopped directly when people were grading the E3s. That's when they were like, "All right, I'm gonna head out." That's what ended up happening because people were like, Sony showed. I forgot what game it was. I don't know if it was The Last of Us or Ghost. One of the two things that they showed, and they came out there with the heavy gameplay. It was really the gameplay was real, right? And then all of a sudden, right, Microsoft had this crazy presentation with music or whatever. I don't even know what they had in there, but all I remember is the outcome. And people were like, yeah, Sony had the games. I think it was The Last of Us when she was in a church. I think that's what it was. And people were like, and they showed The Last of Us and they showed Ghost of Tsushima. Everybody was looking for that. They were like, well, Sony didn't bring anything new to the table, so I'm going to give it a C. Microsoft had the presentation. It had better pacing. I was like, are you fucking for real? Are we watching a movie?
Yeah.
Better pacing? This is what we doing?
You know what, man? That was one of the issues that I had with the state of play. Not the last couple, but that one the indie one that they showed, because everybody was talking about like, oh, there were no new IP and all this stuff, and I'm like, dude. And then they were talking about like the pacing for the show and all this other shit. I'm like, dude, just look at what they gave you, man. I mean, they had a new trailer for Kenna. They showed Sifu and they showed like some other games on that state of play, but who gives a fuck about that because the pacing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've been one thing. I do really hope that Crystal Dynamics shows a new Tomb Raider. Like I still want a new Tomb Raider. I don't know. Most people didn't like this shit, but the new franchise was okay. But I want them to kind of evolve back into the old style of Allura. But I definitely want to see a new Tomb Raider. Like, you know what I mean?
They did say this. You know how I feel about Tomb Raider. And I really don't want Crystal Dynamics touching that shit anymore. But unfortunately, the original developers don't exist. But if they are going to do it, see, all right, Jeremy, before I even go into that one, what do you think about E3? Is it needed? What are you looking forward to?
To be honest, the last few years there hasn't been anything from anybody that it's really gotten me going that wasn't Sony. I mean, if Nintendo shows like Zelda or something, that'd be fucking pretty cool. But other than
Sony
that,
pony fanboy.
What?
yo, I don't like it, dude. I'm starting to not like other games because I have like just a whole, you know what I mean? Like I play one of their games and I play another game. I'm like, what is this fucking hot trash?
I mean, Nintendo could show the new Switch Pro, but like I hope they have a game on behind
Well,
it.
so I'm saying Zelda 2 would be big.
True. They're going to show the Pokemon. I am curious about Pokemon. I've always been. Nintendo, give me a reason to buy your shit again. Just give me a reason. Like you haven't for a long time. I'm just saying. I would really like.
You sound like the dude. You sound like those Xbots, man, who say Sony give me a reason to give me for me to buy the
Okay,
PS5.
They give one like every month.
Let me bite on that one. What was the last game that they put out that was good?
Yo, they literally just put out that Bravely Default game, man.
They don't make that game.
And they're coming out with
Oh, what?
Bravely Default 2.
Okay, so just
They
because,
just released
because
that.
it has a name, you think I'm going to want it because of the name itself? Is that what you're
No,
doing?
I mean it's a good game. I mean, I figured you want to play a good game, right?
But did Nintendo make that game?
No, it was Square Enix.
Okay, I'm talking
but
about
it's exclusive
Nintendo.
to Nintendo's platform.
Nintendo. What
It's
did they
exclusive
put
to
out?
Nintendo's
I don't give a
platform.
fuck. What did Nintendo do?
Hey, look, guess what? Hey, no, look, Sony didn't make Housemarque. No. Sony didn't make Returnal. Guess what?
But they made
Does that not count?
But they made Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, God of War. They had a lot of different things that make me want to invest in it. Shit, they
did.
have a controller that I like playing with.
Yeah, and they have some other stuff coming out too, man.
So where's Nintendo shit?
No More Heroes 3.
Did they
They
make
still
that?
got
Default
ports
2.
to do you
Did
that.
they make that?
Yeah.
They made
That
No More
shit's
Heroes.
coming out.
They made No More Heroes.
That's coming out soon, actually.
They made No More Heroes.
Bruh, it's exclusive to the platform.
La. All right, right there.
Yeah,
If you
Alright,
want
it
a reason
counts.
it counts, it fucking counts.
No,
if you
it
want to buy,
doesn't.
if you want to have a reason, it does count.
Rareware games didn't count on Nintendo.
Who?
Fuck.
If you want a reason to buy
Rareware games on
Nintendo,
N64, they didn't count. They didn't count.
I was always
just looking for a
Nintendo.
reason not to buy the shit.
I was always on Nintendo's shit.
I know N64 Rareware. That was a second party. Did that not count
I
as
understand
Nintendo?
they were second party though. They're not even these bravely default people. These niggas are not
Oh
second party.
God, I hate that second
Who
party
gives a
first
shit
party
where you get
bullshit.
it from?
The thing
Oh,
about
it's
it
gotta
is,
be first party.
what they are asking, what these console manufacturers are asking for, is for me to buy hardware. You got to give me a reason to buy your hardware other than portability. For real? I mean, I can always play. The technology is not even there. If that's the case, I could just buy a 3DS or a fucking DS and to keep it the fuck moving. I don't
I'm
need to
waiting
buy that
for
hardware.
Metroid Prime.
So, huh?
I'm
Tell
waiting
me
for
anywhere.
Metroid
Tell
Prime.
me anywhere else where you could play Bravely Default 2 or No More Heroes 3
You
right
act
now.
like they some flagship ass games. What's the sales, Ken? Where the sales at?
I'm waiting on.
I don't know.
I'm waiting
I
on
don't care
Metroid
Yo,
about
Prime.
Nintendo sounds better than anybody.
I'm
Right.
waiting on Metroid Prime before I get a.
The problem.
Oh,
with Metro-
yeah,
The
that'd be
problem
cool,
with
too.
Metroid Prime is that it doesn't exist. Not in.
It doesn't exist.
I'm waiting on Metroid Prime. Before I
Like
get
I would get a Switch if the new model is 1080p 60. Like I'm not messing around because I
That's
do
what I'm
want to play that
saying.
open world Pokemon game, but I'm not buying no 1080p 30 shit. I don't have time for that, bro. Like life is short. I don't have time to be playing on the Switch. That's all I gotta
I'm
say
not
about
gonna.
that. Like no hate. Like the Switch is great. The games are great. People love it. But like as far as I go, like I'm not about to be playing on the Switch, but when I got all this other shit to do, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's like my whole thing is this. I bought a Vita, and the Vita has some pretty good bangers. But you know what I was doing? I was looking for a reason to play that bitch. It wasn't that the Vita was bad. The problem with the Vita was very simple. I wasn't interested in portability. I just wasn't. I wasn't going anywhere, you know. So I was always on my PS4 when it came out. So it was just like, well, I mean, let me go to the laundromat and play Gravity Rush. Let me just find a reason to do this shit. I wasn't taking the bus anymore. So I mean, they're gonna have to come out with something that is so banger that I need to buy their system. You know, when you look at Xbox Series X, at least you're looking at the processor. You know what I mean? At least that you can see what's going on with that. So, I mean, what do you want from a nigga? I don't want it. I don't. It's to me, it's too archaic of a hardware for me to pick that fucking
Hey, look,
shit up.
man. Look, you not wanting it and you not having a reason to buy it, or
Those
Nintendo not
games are
giving
not
people
even
a reason to buy
interested.
their
But you're
hardware.
telling me to buy it off the strength of either the name or either the fact that it's only on that system. That is
No, I'm
not
saying
enough
I'm
for
not
me to
even
buy
look,
that
look, look,
system.
look, look, look. I'm not even telling you to buy it in general.
Hmm?
I'm not telling you to buy the shit in general. I'm saying that quite simply, if you wanted to buy the Nintendo to play the games that they have, you have to fucking buy the hardware. Why? Because the games are exclusive. Did it come from their first party? I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. You can't get the shit anywhere else.
All right, so let me bite. I'll bite. I don't like those games.
What?
I don't like those games.
Okay, then it's it's
Then
not
there's
for
no.
you then.
Then that's
And
my
that
argument.
and
Then
that's
there's okay.
fine.
So if you strip,
But no, here, let me say this really quick. But here's the thing. There's a difference between you not liking the game and Nintendo not giving you a reason to buy their
no,
console.
it's not a difference. I'm asking
The
Nintendo,
difference-
give me a reason.
No, I agree. What Ken's saying is there's actual games and software and apps on the device that you can play. If you don't like those, then okay. But it's not like Xbox where there's nothing to play at all. You know what I mean? Like you have options on the Switch. A lot of
Damn.
games come out that are exclusive to the Switch.
You'd have to do
So if
it
you
like
like those type
that.
of games, then buy a Switch. If you don't, keep it moving.
No,
Like,
I
that
do.
shit
Here's,
push
all
it.
right, all right, all
There is
right,
a
right.
reason-
Let me clear.
but there is a
let
reason
me,
to have
hold
one.
on, wait. Let me wipe this. Let me wipe the slate clean before we move on to our next topic. Let me wipe the slate clean. I am a fan of Nintendo games, not second party, not third party exclusives, but Nintendo developed games. I am a fan of it. The problem here is that they don't evolve their own games. So when I say Nintendo, give me a reason to buy your console, I am looking for them to elevate themselves instead of coming out with the same shit over and 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 over again. Now, they just keep bringing out the same 3 games.
Yeah, I
Mario?
agree with you, Josh. But both statements are true, though.
No,
Like,
it
you know what I
is, but
mean?
this is a personal thing, not what I really feel like me personally, Nintendo needs to elevate their game. They to
Bro,
me
I
they do.
outgrew the Nintendo. Yo, Josh, when I was like a young kid, and after I had a Super Nintendo, I outgrew that shit. I didn't go get a 64. I got a I think I got a Dreamcast. Like I outgrew that shit when I was like 12 or some shit. You know what I mean? So people who are 35 still talk about Nintendo games. Like, bro, like I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like this shit's not for
This
you. It's not made
nostalgia
for
is
you.
Shut
strong.
up.
It's strong. No, I mean, but
No,
no, Jeremy, you got children. You
I'm
got
just kidding. I'm just playing.
But I'm
I
just
still
saying
play
you got
Super
children,
Nintendo Go.
so you got
no, I
that.
No,
wouldn't.
I play it. Damn it!
No, but
I play Nintendo.
but I don't
So I
see
play
you on
that shit.
Nintendo a
Yeah,
lot
but
though.
what I'm saying is the
I was
games are
playing F
fun.
Zero the other day.
Oh,
What I'm saying is the
you're a
games are
pedophile then.
fun, but the audience they're trying to cater to is not Josh. You know what I mean? Like so
Yeah,
for
that's
Josh
all I'm
to
saying.
be
All
like,
I'm
you know what
saying
I
is
mean? Yeah.
this, right? All I'm saying is this. I'm a fan of day and night cycles, animations, graphics, and open world, and that's what Sony is providing. So long as they continue to
Are you a
provide
fan of
that,
JRPGs?
huh?
Are you a fan of JRPGs? Because they have those.
No, I'm not real. They need to elevate that shit too. Honestly, they need to elevate that. Like, you know what the perfect JRPG would be is
Chrono Trigger
no,
remake.
Paper Mario.
no.
Paper Mario. Paper Mario.
Said Paper Mario.
Nigga, you
I
lucky.
don't know.
Yo,
Yo,
no, Killer Tay,
I don't
you are
know.
lucky.
Yo,
You are so lucky that you made up that flimsy
why?
ass excuse last week.
Yo.
And I would have
Nah, for
came
real, 'cause
straight
I'm
to
at work.
Daytona and
This is the
flash
first.
kicked you.
It's no. My wife. After that day I called you, that I hit you, that you hit me up. We found out she did have fucking corona. So
How was she
it
now?
was good that you didn't come down. Yeah, she good now. Yeah,
How long did it last?
she didn't have it like everybody else had it. She just had just couldn't fucking coughing all over the fucking place. I couldn't even sleep in the fucking bedroom. I was like, oh no,
She had
get your ass in
diarrhea.
there. Nah, she ain't had diarrhea, but fucking coughing, fucking hurting, and always tired all the goddamn. But she good now. Good now.
I mean, I guess to be honest with you, if you've ever had the flu, yo, it takes a week to recover from that bitch. Like, it's not, you don't just get a flu
Yeah,
for 2 days. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, she was good after fucking 5 days.
like for me, the average cold takes about a week to fully recover. Just the common cold. I can function, you know what I mean? But flu, like a couple years ago, I almost was taken out for the flu, just the flu. And it could have been corona. I don't know. But let's move on to our second to last topic here, because I think we pretty much exhausted it. Microsoft versus Sony and their strategy. So there was some sort of holdings meeting, right? And a lot of juicy tidbits came out of this. One of the things, since we were already talking about Horizon Forbidden West, is that the game is coming out on PlayStation now, eventually. Now people are like, what the fuck? I totally forgot. Totally forgot. What you say?
Multiplayer.
No. I forgot that Horizon Forbidden West is a PlayStation 4 game still. So I'm pretty sure PlayStation Now is going to, just like the Marvels, Avengers, I'm pretty sure they're only going to give you the PS4 version, if anything, right? And they said Miles Morales too. That's also a PlayStation 4 game. They want to elevate the. I'm still don't understand. Like, I feel like PlayStation Plus could definitely eliminate PlayStation Now, but I guess the back end of it is different. But they want people to use that. That was one of the points. The second thing that they also stated is that more people play PlayStation 4 or pay on the storefront on PlayStation 4, like 75% of the people. So it's one of the reasons why Miles Morales and Horizon Forbidden West will be or is on the PlayStation 4. They still are able to make money, and they're trying to do like a smooth transition. To be perfectly honest, there's a lot of every generation is going to have cross-gen. It's just expensive. It's too expensive. Speaking of it being expensive, these games are costing $300 million to make. How do you think that they should? How do you believe they're going to keep up that quality of having everybody engaged the way that they are, like with the Forbidden West trailer, and still stay afloat. So they are definitely doubling down on putting more games on PC to get that extra little bit of money. They made 250% of Horizon's or of their return investment on Horizon Zero Dawn. So people were gonna sit there, who's not selling that much? Why are they doing that? They are still making money, over double than what they put in. So that's why they're doing
Yeah,
it.
it's like, how do people think Sony's gonna invest 18 billion if they're not if they're not getting alternate forms, of revenue streams coming in? Like, they have to, if they're gonna cap out at 150, let's say this 150 is a cap for PS5's lifetime sales, they're still gonna need to recoup or make more money doing PS Now and putting games on PC. It just makes sense as a company. You know what I mean?
It's the
Like,
only way to keep
eventually it had to happen.
It's the only way to keep the gears churning. Now people are thinking that what the fuck is the point of the PS5 or just consoles in general? You gotta understand when you put money into a console, you have an investment. That if you do decide to leave that ecosystem, that's everything that you ever owned for the last 3 generations gone. So people are going to be more inclined to keep their shit on that in that ecosystem. Another thing that they did say is also microtransactions make up like fucking what 65-70% of the money that they make, and they're trying to go into the games as a service or service games for that reason. Does that mean that Sony is going to stop the cinematic experiences that we are getting? No. What it does mean is that the cinematic experiences are luring you into their ecosystem, and then you get to stay there for the other types of games or whoever it may apply to. The hook, line, and sinker is the cinematic, ultra realistic, ultra high production value games. That's what's bringing people in.
Yeah, I think Sony wants to keep this image of them being the premier AAA blockbuster, you know, basically publisher. You know what I mean? So everything they're doing on the side is to ensure that they can spend 300 million on making a game, and people should understand that. You know what I mean? Like, they have to be able to keep these games being polished in AAA by having different forms of revenue streams coming in to support that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why you can't understand that. Like,
Because their
they won't be able
emotions,
to put out a bunch of PS5s
it's the
this year
emotions.
because of COVID. Yeah.
It's the emotions of you being on Twitter or social media all day. You know what I mean? Sony is looking more and more like they're adapting Microsoft's strategy to an extent. There's what's going on, Umar? It's not that they're adopting Microsoft's strategy at all. It's a business strategy. Period. You're going to need to. This is why. Like, for instance, this is what you're going to start seeing, especially when the COVID kind of winds down, right? You're going to definitely start seeing, and I'll let you guys speak on this still. You're going to definitely start seeing what is the issue that I'm thinking too. They're going to start putting their games out on more things, or the people are going to start putting their stuff out on more things. The reason why, like for instance, Disney Plus. They got like almost 200 million subscribers, but they're still losing money. They're losing money, not stopping it. They're losing it. And they are so contingent on subscribers from China. They're selling their souls. They're doing everything to get that bread. There's a lot of ramifications for the shit. It's a business move. And people need to get their feelings out of it. It's not about that. You want these games to continue. Where are they going to get the fucking money? Where are they going to get the money? They still need the console because the console is what's making them money. People are going onto the stores in droves and buying their shit. Now, I've said this before. I think that Sony is going to start making games, free-to-play games, in some sort of capacity, on PC and PlayStation 5 together, where you're going to have that ecosystem. They're not going to stop the AAA games. That's just the way to get you into that system there. That's what I believe, and that's what PlayStation Plus is going to be a big part of. Now, Microsoft's strategy. What is their strategy? We need names that are popular to give you a reason to buy Game Pass. And then once you're under that umbrella, just like a cable company, when you have a cable company, they'll give you a really good rate, and after the rate is done, the prices go up. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. They want you to spend your money consistently, and this is aligns perfectly with what they did with Xbox Net Live. They were pushing multiplayer games because you had to pay for multiplayer. That's what they were doing. And now they want you to actually have their service and pay for DLC and microtransactions because everybody knows with the Fortnite and all those other games, that's where they're getting the money from. So they have no interest in making really decent, high profile games. They have interest in keeping you paying all the time. And that's where the difference is, in my opinion, from Sony and Microsoft. What are your thoughts on that? Let's start off with Jeremy.
Yeah. You think Halo is going to be a 10-year project because no reason? Like, there's going to be no microtransactions in that. Are you kidding me?
Huh?
No, he's
That
talking.
was sarcasm.
No, he's talking about. They have a 10-year life for Halo. Oh yeah, obviously it's better. Shut your ass up and shave your eyebrow. What's going on, Pablo? I saw you on social medias. How many games as a service games do you think that they will make? See, that's an interesting thing because what I believe they're going to do is have each studio make a games as a service. They're already talking about Dreams making a games as a live service game that involves comedy. So I think they're going to try to work the Among Us angle. And they want to have them do that. And that's how they get their revenue stream there. The Last of Us is going to do, or Naughty Dog's going to do their thing. Gorilla's going to do their thing. Everyone's going to have their own thing to tackle a specific genre. That's what I believe they're going to do. Now Jeremy he did his turn. What about you, Killer Tay? Killer Tay, what you think?
I don't know. I think it's a good strategy that that Sony has. I think they should have been did this.
They're the Japanese, they got their, traditions. I know they didn't want to do that shit.
Yeah.
I know they didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I know they didn't. That shit burned them.
Yeah, because I mean, even Sean Layden told us before he left that they were going to be on this route.
He did, didn't he?
Like
He did.
He
told
really
us they
did,
were
man.
gonna
I
go
don't know
this
why
route.
people are acting surprised about this
Yeah.
shit.
Before he left, he said, yeah, there's some things that Sony's going to be changing, and a lot of people ain't going to like it, but they got to get with the times, and that's what he said.
And
I
they're
don't know why
doing
people forgot that all of a sudden.
because the guy doesn't look like a gamer, Jim Ryan. Do you
He's
think
not.
Asobi would make games as a service a free to play game as well? Yeah, like I said, every single game or company that's under them are going to make their own respective genre of games as a service or live service. I do. I honestly do, and that's what I think that they're going to really lean into now. My whole thing, Killer Tay, is this, right? What do you
Yeah.
think about Microsoft's angle?
I mean, they've been pretty upfront with what they were going to be doing since the Xbox One. So we knew they were coming through this route. They've just been more upfront about it, unlike Sony. But in all actuality, we knew both of these companies were going to do this route, and it was just inevitable. It was just a matter of time of when it was going to happen.
Yo, real quick though, I want to break this misconception up, right? Because Sony has been publishing games on PC years ago. Like they had their own studio for PC. You know what I mean? So like the notion that Sony never
Yeah,
put games on
they-
PC is like a misnomer. They have their own mobile division. They have a studio that makes games for the Switch. Like I don't understand why people who don't understand, like Sony had to fall back because of finances, but they were always going in this direction. Like it was never that point where Sony was like, "Oh, we're only gonna make games for our consoles." Like they've been doing this for decades now. So I think
But
people are just too emotional.
They shut down that.
Yeah,
that
they had to
studio,
because
didn't
their
They were trying
finances
to
are all
save
messed
money.
up.
They were
So
trying
like,
to save money.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
but
So,
now
I
they're
mean,
back
it
and
was
they're going back to what they were doing before.
that's what I said. That's what I was saying. Because
But
we
you
knew
mentioned
both of these
this.
companies was going
You
to do
mentioned
it.
this, Killer Tay. You mentioned that um, Microsoft has been more upfront. Their angle is not the same though. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
like,
that's true. That's true. It's
because
not the same,
Microsoft
but
has no intentions, none whatsoever, of making a high caliber AAA, quadruple A game. They have no intention of doing that. What they
Because
do,
but
EverQuest,
I wasn't
it
talking
was the
about
first.
I
It was the
wasn't talking
first
about
games of the
the
service.
the
EverQuest,
I
yeah.
wasn't talking.
yeah,
I wasn't
and
talking about
PlanetSide,
I wasn't
they've been
talking
making
about the
this shit for
games
a
they were
long
making.
time.
I'm just
Yeah.
talking about like the service part of it. So
Sony has done everything before Microsoft. Streaming, games as a service, all this shit. Somehow people keep acting like Sony
I
is
never
copying
said they
them.
didn't.
Not you. I'm
I
saying
never
No,
said
no,
people.
they
no,
didn't.
Like
no.
I said
We're
people,
not
not you.
attacking you or anything like that. No, we're
Yeah,
just
Tay,
saying in
don't
general.
Yeah, but Microsoft was the first one to learn how to make money off of it, or find new
No,
ways to charge you for it.
EverQuest was
Like
wildly
like
successful. Yeah.
like
I mean, PC been
PS2
doing
though
that
had
for. I mean,
had
Sony's been doing
internet,
that for PC gamers since forever.
The thing
What was
about
that, Tay? You cut out, Tay.
I said Steve been doing that PC gamers since what? The 2000s?
Yeah.
yeah, but the thing about it is Steam. See, this is the thing. Steam already got everybody, and they're done. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
already entrenched, and maybe they need to revisit it. But their hook, line, and sinker was actually Half-Life, and then now they just said fuck it. You know what I mean? That was
Well, Steam's biggest thing was they allowed you to launch your games from one launcher because back in the dark ages of the PC, every
everybody
game
had their
had their own
own.
separate
Million fucking
launcher.
Yep,
launchers.
That game
There was
could
a
fucking
million
The
ruin
game-
your whole
launchers.
PC. Yeah.
The game was a launcher. The game was a launcher itself. So I will say
Yeah.
this: the reason why they
You had
didn't
to
keep
download
Sony
a launcher
online,
for every fucking game.
the reason why they didn't keep Sony online entertainment, Sony was a super fragmented company, like dumb fragmented. Every branch of Sony was its own business, and that is not the way of doing things. So now they're trying to create a synergy. They've been trying to do this for the last 10 years to create a synergy. That's why they're selling PS5s with the Bravia. That's why you don't have 1440p support, because they want your ass to buy a fucking TV. That's what they want.
Yeah,
Theirs.
Sony's smart, and they're just restructuring, and people acting like, "Oh my God, Sony putting games on PC." They've been doing that, bro. Like, where you been? Like, you know what I mean?
And it was
This is new
specialized
age
games,
people
like
who are like
PC.
obsessed with consoles.
PC players are a little different than console players. They have different.
No, they are.
You know what I'm saying? So like they're trying to find a way to put everything together is what they're trying to do. Whereas Microsoft, see, this is the old, tried and true comparison: quality versus quantity. Microsoft clearly is in the quantity. How many games they can put on there, regardless of quality. Sony is like, I want to put good games or high quality games to retain their clientele. Ken, what's your take on this shit? Microsoft versus Sony.
I mean, I still think that, Sony is still, going the course of trying to, create these big cinematic, whatever, blockbuster hit games or whatever. It obviously, it seems like they're coming back to embrace more of the PC market and the mobile market and things like that. Which, I mean, it makes sense to me, because when you look at, like free to play games and stuff like that, Fortnite, Apex Legends, and Warframe, and all those other games, right? I mean, they're massively popular and they make a ton of money. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's like, it makes sense, and also Sony's trying to break into, like some of these other, like, gaming markets that have been difficult to get into, like China, Russia, all of these places, right? Um, Especially where their platform, the primary platform is PC. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it makes sense that they're trying to expand their IP more to those crowds as well. Um, just to sort of like, I don't know, in lack of a better way, like start taking over a little bit, and getting their name even further out there, in front of more people. Um, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with it. I think it's fine. I mean, I is to me the
That
only
does
thing that
not
I have
sound fine to me at all. Could you imagine answering that to like a wife? How's my dress, honey? I mean,
Yo,
I
but
have no
that's
problem with it.
Sony.
I
That's
think it's
Sony
fine.
Sword Art mobile game makes like more money than like probably most of their first part their triple A games. You know what I mean?
Some
That
of it is
mobile
like
game makes
combined.
like
Some of it
fucking
is like
billions of
combined.
dollars, bro.
They
Yeah,
and
so
yeah.
it's like Sony still has to make money. They have shareholders they have to make happy. Like PlayStation's not their only concern when it comes to their whole company. You know what I mean? So I think people need to relax and sometimes just be a consumer. You know what I mean? Just be a consumer. It's okay to just buy something and enjoy it and not having to go down this crazy ass road of over analyzing and demanding
Just
all these
being a
things.
consumer. What are you talking about?
Yo,
No.
sometimes I just buy shit, bro. I don't need to have a
But
fucking
you are
crazy
like,
ass
yo,
5 hour debate. You know what I mean?
you are a consumer. Anytime you buy
That's what I'm saying.
Popeyes
Yeah.
and you
Yo,
accept
you
that,
still owe Popeyes hurt you, nigga.
bro, they gave my money back though. They did. They
Yo,
gave after all that time. They gave
oh,
my
they
money
get
back. I was in
it.
Florida when they did it. I checked my account. I was like, you fucking better. No, but I'm
I
saying
saw you on Twitter, nigga, going hard.
hard, yo. They gave my money back with a quickness. They was like, excuse me, I'm so sorry for your inconvenience. It's gonna return to your account within 3 to 5 business days. Thanks. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna ruin your fucking career, but I can't because that chicken is good though. But I ain't gonna eat from there anymore. I'm done with it. But beat it as it may. You guys still hear me? Y'all can still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I just yanked the
Yeah.
shit out this cord here. But the thing is, being a consumer, like sometimes there's guilty pleasures. There's guilty pleasures for being a consumer. Some people go on OnlyFans. You know that's a waste of fucking money. I mean, you have free porno, but some people have it.
Yeah, I never understood that. Like,
That's a waste of whole money. Sometimes you can be a consumer and be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? But the emotions that is tied to this shit, it's not that deep. Do you think factions are going to be free to play? I think they're trying to gear up. I think they're going to have a free to play game that is tied in the Horizon universe. I really do think that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen. Huh?
You said Horizon or The Last of Us?
No, I said Horizon. I said exactly what I said, Horizon.
You think you gotta have a multiplayer game mode or something?
I think they're going to have a
I
mode
don't think so.
eventually that's going to be like that. I think they want you to get acclimated to the idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
faction.
then and that's what I believe. In terms of it being tied to The Last of Us Part 1, I don't know.
I think Factions is coming out with Part 1 remake next year.
They said that shit was going to come
That's
out
what
later on.
That's what I was telling. That's what I was telling people.
Next spring, you're gonna get Last of Us 2 remake and Factions.
They want that
That's
shit
what I
to
was
cool
telling
off.
people.
They want it to
Nobody
cool
believed me.
off. It's too hot. Still too hot.
it'll be out before the HBO hits. I'll tell
I
you that.
bet you.
Yeah.
I bet you fractions make more money than fucking.
That's why you cut out because you're saying shit.
Yeah, Tay, you cut out, bro.
Fractions,
Don't
bet
say it
fractions
again.
Make more money than The Last of Us 2.
If they do it right, then it's possible for sure. Now, we've exhausted that. See, my whole idea for this podcast is to provide some provocative thoughts, not to have like a crazy general, discussion. I do want to respect everyone's time, so we're going to move on to our last subject, and then our goodbyes for tonight. Now, our last topic. Usually I do 3 topics, and then the fourth one is something like current events. So I seen some bullshit, guys. I couldn't believe I saw that, and I just want to get your thoughts, right? And just understand this is a current events topic, not a gaming topic. Just get you to know who I am as a person and what makes me tick. So there was a celebratory article about women needing to grow out their mustache, and that empowers, I kid you not, and empowers women to grow out their mustache, and that we as men shouldn't force people. We as men should not force women to conform to society with shaving their mustache. Since you said what the fuck, what do you think about that? How do you feel about that?
I'm 1,000% against that shit. You know what I mean? Like if a bitch, no, I'm 1,000% of like women can do that if they want to. That's on them. But I'm 1,000% against encouraging shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you want these women to be lonely and fucking having 30 cats, then keep giving them advice like that, because no dude about to touch no chick with a fucking 12 o'clock shadow, bro. Like, come on now. Like,
Yeah.
Like we understand it's weird because of whatever is going on in society, testosterone is dropping for men, and I think testosterone is raising for women. Then when you get put in certain situations where it's stressful, which men are typically in, due to society or whatever the fuck you want to call it, that's what raises our testosterone. And since we are not, and we're a lot of niggas are beta, the fucking testosterone is dropping. And what's happening with women is that they're getting like, and not shaving your legs and shit like that. They're getting these mustaches and beards. Could you imagine like a girl be like, I ain't shaving shit. You tryna, that's the patriarchy. I don't have to shave it for you, nigga.
I wish my wife would come over and tell me I'm finna grow a mustache out. Bitch, you finna grow these divorce papers on your ass. What the fuck?
yeah, shit. Advice like this is fucking for people who like eat fucking like avocado fucking toast and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just weirdos. You know what I mean? Like
kale.
no regular person is following this advice, bro. Come on.
Well, you
like
know what?
the
You know
makeup
what?
industry is like a multi-billion-dollar industry, bro. We're not doing this.
You gotta,
Hey,
you
man,
gotta
got something
Asian.
against avocado toast, man?
Nah, I mean,
You gotta age. See, Killer
I'm just saying
tell,
though.
Killer tell you got an Asian wife.
Yeah.
At least if she grew out her mustache, she would have that pretty ass mustache hair, like baby hair.
Nah,
You know?
This nigga's stupid.
Nah. You gonna have them pretty ass divorce papers stacked in her face.
Yo, I know you said what you said, but how do you feel? I'm gonna go straight to Jeremy after this. How do you feel about, women being, like masculine? And this mustache shit. Like, it's a hard ass push for women to be more like men. And I'm trying to understand that. They're saying that there's a patriarchy and that you have to accept this. And that, no, there's no such thing as gender. Everyone's been forced to think that there's a such thing as gender. People can do what they want to do, and there's no difference between man or woman. So if that's the case, how do you feel about that being roughly the same age as me and pretty much the rest of the panel?
I'm okay with it because it'll knock down the fucking human population.
Ooh.
That is true.
Less dumb people being bred every day because nobody's gonna want to fuck.
That's already happening. I didn't understand it for a while, honestly. I didn't understand. I was like, yo, why people in Asia people in Japan ain't fucking no more. Niggas have panty vending machines and shit. Like, they don't even want to fuck anymore. They like,
Why do you think there's so much anime porn, dude?
Also,
God
like in the
damn.
Nordic countries too. I mean, even our birth rate in America is like at an all-time low. Like everywhere, it's because women are just fucking becoming really, really difficult for no reason. You know what I mean?
Then
Like
they make YouTubes be like, why can't I find a man?
exactly.
Oh, bitch, look at your look.
You
what
acting
been
like a
doing.
man. Men don't want men typically. Like, if they're not gay, they don't
Yo,
want
go
man.
look at her Facebook, yo.
Who?
Men are all trash.
Yeah, like I seen a lot of that shit, yo.
Seen the video of this one feminist extremist, and then she was like, why men don't want me? Bitch, have you seen the last 15 videos of you talking down to men and how men is fucking trash? Why would they want to deal with you?
I feel
It's
like
like
there's a
like I
general-
said, it's okay to be a consumer. It's also okay to be a woman. You can like girly shit. You can like cooking and cleaning and fucking raising kids. Like it's okay. You know what I mean?
They're gaslighting
Like,
women to think that
Washing your fucking hair and shit, not
They're
smelling like a foot.
They're gassing.
Simple shit.
They're gaslighting.
Oh my
women.
god, I'm in a room full of misogynists. Oh my god.
They're gaslighting. They're gaslighting. What do you call it? Women into thinking that cooking and cleaning and just being girly, just being a fucking woman, is bad. Like, I hope you get. There are fundamental differences between women and men, and I think in general, people think that men are stupid. Like, men are just supposed to just automatically, we're just so, gaga, oh, she looks so good. Like, we're not thinking. No nigga want no difficult bitch. No matter how, like, eventually that's going to bother a dude. I heard a song, I don't know who the fuck one of these trap singers are. I don't know who the mumble rap, whatever the fuck it is, right? This nigga was like, yo, I like a toxic bitch. A bitch that when I walk by, she don't say shit to me. Nick? Who are you? Who are
That's
you?
some Gen Z shit right there, man.
That's somebody who has money who can like fuck with multiple chicks. So of course he can fucking act stupid and shit. And those bitches are gonna acquiesce in the end because he has money. You know what I mean? But as far as cooking goes, cooking is a life skill. Everybody should learn how to cook. Cooking is a life skill, bro. Like some of the best men
Magnificent
are
Black.
chefs.
I wish
Like
Magnificent
I don't
Black was
understand
in
what's
here,
going
yo, because
on.
that nigga is a cook, yo. He'd be like, yo,
Is he?
yeah, he's a like certified chef. He was like, yo, I made this ham real quick. I'm like, oh, nigga. I'm like some recipes I need to kind of look into. You know what I'm saying?
Cooking is look at Gordon Ramsay, bro. Like cooking is not a feminine thing, bro. Like cooking is a life skill.
He's a
It feeds
badass
people.
too.
It nourishes people, bro. Like
Ass too, yo. I wouldn't want to fuck
how the
with Gordon
hell,
Ramsay.
yeah? How the hell you gonna
No, I
have
love
kids
Gordon
if you
Ramsay,
can't
yeah.
fucking cook? Like that makes no sense to me, bro. Like get in that goddamn kitchen, everybody.
Everybody get in the fucking kitchen and make.
Yeah,
Shake
no
it.
shit, dude. The way things change, like I started cooking and shit when I was like 6 or 7. Otherwise, I got to eat a fucking sandwich every day, you know.
Exactly.
I got home. I was watching myself for a couple hours. You know what I mean? I fucking want. Gotta figure that shit out.
Like as
But
a
like my grandpa, he grew up like when my grandma died. That motherfucker been eating TV dinners for 15 years.
yeah, like as a single man, bro. You think I want to eat exactly Hungry Man meals every day? Nah, sometimes I want some fucking braised fucking you know what I mean, salmon or some shit like that.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
yo,
I like to
Crosshairs.
eat good too. I like broccoli shit. You know what I mean?
Gross said, you better teach her, yo,
Fuck.
nigga, you better teach her to make some Asian cuisine and shit. I don't know what the fuck y'all be.
Like the one thing
chopping
I
up in the
miss
kitchen.
about my mom, bro, is like those classic soul foods, collard greens and shit like that. You know, baked macaroni and cheese. Like that shit's gone, bro. These hood rats don't know how to cook fucking collard greens. You know what I mean?
Yo, I hope my aunt isn't watching this shit, yo. Cause she
She can't cook collard greens.
both
Kick
of
your
these
door
bitches.
down.
Both of these bitches.
Like,
All right, I'm gonna say
They
this.
can't
and
cook
we
collard
can
greens,
and
bro.
then we
Come
can- Anyway, so I'm gonna say this shit, and we can close out on this one. I just want to get your thoughts on this, bro. And Crosshairs, I don't know, man. You need to take her in the kitchen and train her just in case. You know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck you do. Yeah, y'all both need to cook together and then fuck in the kitchen. So anyway,
Hey,
hey,
what's good, girl? Hey, what's good, girl? I'm trying,
Yeah,
trying to hang
yeah,
out.
y'all need to
Hey, yo,
hold-
nigga, you want this pussy? You gonna have to work for it, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, she's a
With the
white girl that
mustache.
don't know how to cook, and I don't know, pescatarian. She better learn. Yo, YouTube really blocked out the word pescatarian. Like what? Yo, YouTube is wild. I'm glad I have that little chat thing because like YouTube is just censoring shit just because I don't even know what the fuck that's at. Anyway, so thing number one, issue number one,
They're
right?
trying to break down the patriarchy, man.
Oh Jesus Christ! So here's the thing that happened, right? My aunt for Thanksgiving made macaroni, and then she made stuffing. Right? That sounds traditional. Sounds cool, right? This fucking stuffing, you could take it out of the aluminum pan, and it wouldn't even crumble. It would just be like a mass. It would be a mass. You can't like a bread loaf. Like you have
Bro,
to,
my mom makes stuffing from scratch.
Yo,
bro. That
you
shit
have
is
to break it up
delicious.
yourself. You have to break the shit up, right? Because it would be like a mass that's stuck together. Then she made macaroni, right? I don't want to put salt in it because some people don't like salt. Bitch, are you black?
Yeah.
Fuck, I was like, this shit don't have no taste. It's salt over there. Why is it not in the fucking macaroni?
Yeah.
And then on top of it, the most egregious thing is that the bitch didn't even put more than one cheese in that bitch.
Wow.
She had one basic ass cheese. I swear to God, this bitch white. She white as hell.
This is like noodles, nigga.
Shit was noodles, yo. I ain't gonna hold you.
Cheese.
I ain't gonna hold you. Yo, bro, no, she didn't do any of that. I don't even think she put milk in that bitch. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh Lord.
I think, truthfully, that it was like a 6-year-old food. That's what it felt like to me. Like a 6-year-old made that shit.
Bro,
And
that old school collard greens, yams.
She's like, oh no, I'm about to get into that one too before we part. That what the fuck is it? She said cheese has a lot of salt in there. I'm trying to watch my blood pressure because that's why black people be sick. That's why the coronavirus is killing off our black people. I ain't even going there. Anyway, the next person. I went over her house. I went over her house for Thanksgiving, and it was early. I said, okay, this barbecue is smelling nice. Okay, she was making something, barbecue chicken. I don't even know why. That's not really Thanksgiving. I don't know what the fuck it is. Anyway, I was like, well, I like barbecue. I like it. You know what I mean? I cook for my wife. Hell no. You should not be cooking. Oh, no. He didn't even say anything. That's old. That's fucking YouTube being stupid. Anyway. So she was like, oh, okay. Do you want a snack or something? I said, no, I'm good. I want to keep my appetite for it. So I go in the kitchen. She's washing her hands. I noticed that it was a little bit too clean. A little bit too clean for Thanksgiving. Now, y'all know, I think everybody except for Jeremy, but he's from the South, know
That should be
in the kitchen,
that should be
it'd
looking
be
like the
messy.
Crump Show.
It'd be fucking, the whole kitchen be full. The counter would be full.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was nothing on the counter.
Yo, Josh, you remember that scene in the Nutty Professor when his family went to the gathering? It'd be looking like that.
He says, I think that girls don't take those cooking classes back in high school. No, they need more than that, man. You need to watch Gordon Ramsay. They need to take a course of Gordon Ramsay. That's the nigga was pop your ass if you do it wrong. But either way, I'm looking here. She's like, oh, the food's not done yet. I'm just right now. She says it like she's good with it. She's like, right now, I'm baking the chicken right now, so it could be done, and I could pour the barbecue sauce on it. It's gonna be so good. Bitch, you ever heard of marinating? Why is the barbecue sauce not on the fucking chicken? Like, all right,
Bruh.
so, bro, she was fucking it all up, and then she was like, you don't like collard greens, do you? I said, no, I do. She was like, yeah, I just want to make sure you like collard greens. This bitch goes into the fucking cabinet and pulls out 6 cans.
No, don't do it. No.
6 cans of collard greens.
No.
Canned collard greens?
No.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Collard greens, canned. My
Yo.
mouth.
Did she get
The
a canned turkey
the funny thing is, this is the thing. This is what's wrong with this generation of people, right? This is the biggest problem. With
Even I can make collard greens. I mean, I can't make them, but I know how to clean them and shit. Like,
that's what we all had to do that when we were younger.
yeah, like as a kid, you have to help out. Yeah.
Hell yeah. 4 years old, husk that corn, bitch.
I used to husk mad corn, nigga.
No, the problem with everything, right? This is the biggest problem, is that people, this generation is entitled and they feel like there shouldn't be suffering, right? At all. And Cross, you know I'm black as fuck, right? I'm black as hell. So that was a no-go.
No,
Now our grandmom, shut up. Now our grandma, our grandma, right? She would have told them to go in the kitchen. Get your ass in the kitchen to clean these collard greens.
Mm-hmm.
We all had to do that. The grit, you know the grit. Even I had to do it. I was like mad young. There's a grit in the collard greens. There's dirt and shit. You had to clean all that shit out numerous times and shit like that. I know it. But they were so mad.
A big ass metal bucket and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
They were so mad.
Big ass metal tub. Yeah.
They were so mad at my in the neck bones. That's a whole thing. But they were so mad at my mom.
Fat back.
Fat back.
Woo!
Yep. They were so mad at my
Yeah,
mom
buddy.
for forcing them to learn how to fucking cook. I ain't gonna do that to my kids. Now that's mad stuff. That's the suffrage. I ain't doing that.
You're not gonna teach your kids how to survive? What the fuck?
No,
Like,
she was mad because my grandma was abrasive with this shit. Nicole, get downstairs and do these things. Cook it. No, she was getting so upset she couldn't even talk right. But she was having like a mini stroke.
Bro, having a what do you call it when you take apart black eyed peas, whatever? But like doing that shit, bro.
Oh yeah, when you had to
Jesus
string
Christ, yeah, like
you had to
take
string
him out of the
them.
fucking leaves and shit, man. That shit
Yeah.
forever, nigga.
Bro,
Fuck.
like that's why the food tastes great. Who had a Nintendo?
Yes.
What?
Who played a Switch?
No.
Don't worry about it.
She.
You thought it was me too, didn't you?
No,
About
I
to
knew
jump
it
on
was
me,
I
weren't
knew it
you?
was Jeremy. No, that's the thing that was pretty cool. Like it was really like that work that you could taste the slavery in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? This
That's
is
what I'm talking about, baby.
That shit's so good.
That's why
Like,
when we were cooking back in the day with the slaveries, our ancestors or whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? And they told, get out there, nigger. You ain't getting none of our food. That's our Brussels sprouts.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying? So that's how they did it. So the black people was like,
Quick
fuck
story.
it.
stupid.
They was like, the black people was
Yo,
like, fuck
quick
it. What's these plants? What is this? Is this cabbage? It's this shit
Yo,
tastes plain.
quick
We going,
story.
huh?
Quick story about my wife, right? She's never been a black family Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
And when I tell you, when she went to my mom's house, she seen my mom cooking it up with the greens, the black eyed peas, everything, the macaroni and all that other good shit. When I tell you that she had like 3 plates,
Bruh.
and all she could say is she put on at least 10 pounds after that Thanksgiving.
Bro, how could you not, bro?
Bro.
Cause I mean, my wife was adopted. She only ate white folks cooking, so she was cooking, even though she only dated black men.
Jeremy, you white?
Yeah, Jeremy White.
No, my wife is Korean.
No, I'm talking about Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy
Oh.
White. But
Yeah,
he's
I'm
from the
white.
South. He's from the
Bro, you
Yo.
missing out, bro.
Yo,
Yo,
when I
bro.
tell you
I feel bad for you, son.
that all she said was, "Oh my God, this shit is so good."
Did she
This
say it
nigga
like
Jeremy
that? Did she
eat
say it
beets
like
and
that?
shit
Did
at
she say it
Thanksgiving.
like
You know what I
that?
mean?
So bad.
This is normal food. This is normal
Bruh.
food for me.
This is the reason. This is the
She
reason
has
why we
never
can't have
tasted
it.
something that's good.
This is the reason why we can't have it all the time. It's one of those guilty foods. You know what I'm saying? You can't
Yeah,
have it all the
but
time.
yo,
because it
real
is
talk though, I would rather
bad
die
for you.
10 years early and eat like a fucking god than be eating fucking grilled chicken and shit all the fucking time and quinoa. Like, nah, I'm good, man. I'd
No,
rather just
I
die early,
am
bro.
going
Like,
to look. The thing about it is,
Yo,
not doing
I
it.
grew up eating freaking rice and beans, yo.
yo, rice
Yo,
and beans
I
is
didn't
good.
climb
You
to
do
the
it
top
right.
of the food chain to eat fucking carrots, dude. Sorry.
You know what I mean,
I mean, me personally, if I eat a lot of fucked up food, girl, you better believe I'm pretty much working out the entire day. Like that's my compromise. There's no way for me not to eat this type of shit. But the only time we're gonna find macaroni cheese, grits, and all these fucking food, we're gonna have to
Bruh.
go into a museum to find this shit. There's not
yeah,
even
yeah.
gonna be
Fuck
like
around, yo,
that's gonna
Josh.
be
Get some
lost
fried
history.
fish, nigga. Some grits and some hush puppies. Man,
Bro, yo,
stop
wait,
it,
wait,
nigga.
Scrabble,
Like, bruh.
Scrabble.
God, yeah. I'm about to. Matter of fact, I'm out though, cause I gotta get something to eat. Your niggas making me stupid hungry, nigga. Like,
All right.
God.
All right, we're gonna
Yeah.
close it out. So that's Jemiah that's about to leave here. So
Oh,
thank
real
you so
quick
much.
though,
Yeah,
y'all
go
saw
on.
Army of the Dead?
I don't know what that is.
Army of the Dead. It's Netflix. Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead movie.
I want to.
Nobody saw that shit. I mean, you can.
I know,
I
right?
haven't started.
Nah, I didn't see it.
With-
No, I'll
with
probably watch
Batista?
it tonight though.
Yeah, that shit is
No.
lit, bro. Like that
I'll
shit is
probably watch
really
it
good.
tonight.
I really enjoyed that shit. And I'm a huge zombie movie fan. Like I really enjoyed that shit. That shit's pretty good.
I got a lot of shit to catch up on, man. I'm behind, man. And I still haven't
I
even
forgot.
watched the fucking Winter Soldier and the Falcon from Marvel, man.
Oh,
I gotta
I thought
catch
it was
up on
pretty-
that
I
shit.
thought it was pretty good.
I forgot that fucking 3rd season of fucking Castlevania.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I gotta watch
watch that shit,
Invincible. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
gotta watch
that
it
too. Yeah.
Invincible, I was.
All right, though,
Invincible,
boys. I'm about to go to
curious
the eat
about
because
that.
I'm starving now.
Yeah, I'm about to pick
Damn.
up a cup of
Hungry
coffee
face
and
ass.
shit to get in it.
All right.
All
Yeah,
right,
good,
all right.
good
It's always
podcast,
a
man. Great
pleasure.
podcast,
It's always,
man.
Yeah.
it's always a pleasure, man.
All right, peace. Yes, sir. Thanks
All
for
right,
having
man.
me
Peace
on,
out.
man.
Not a problem. So we're gonna end it here. So thank you guys for talking. I hope you guys like the format that I'm doing. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. What this podcast is really designed to do is to raise questions, really, to give a different point of view, not to talk ad nauseum. I want to say that only due to the fact that if you were wondering why I was rushing things through, it was because of that. We want to get all the subjects in there, and we only have 90 minutes to do it. So that's how we're gonna do it. But we have Jeremy. It's good, man.
Not much. Just for games that aren't coming to Xbox, some are PC, but it's a pretty crazy week, man. Like
Yeah.
you got third parties, you got I think I took a picture. You got the Final Fantasy 7 Integrate, you got Guilty Gear, we got the freaking Virtual Fighter 5 remake free, that indie game that's brand new for free. What was it? Ratchet and Clank, and I thought there was one more. Can't remember what it is.
Scarlet Nexus is coming out in
Oh,
June as
yeah, I
well.
heard about
That's
that shit.
multi. I was just talking stuff that's PlayStation and PC only.
It's crazy.
There's also
Oh.
multiplayer too. There's like Sniper 2, and it's freaking crazy.
This is a crazy time. Killer Tay,
Any
Killer
of y'all play
Tay, man.
Biomutant?
Huh?
Any of y'all play Biomutant?
Nah.
Not yet, man. I want to get it. I'm trying to beat Returnal first, man. I'm trying not to buy like a bunch of games at one time without
I gotta
finishing
beat Control too.
the other one.
I'm trying to get the other ending so I can, because it's gonna be another podcast where I'm just gonna exclusively talk about Returnal story, spoilers and all. So, but thank you so much,
I mean,
Killer
it's
Tay.
it's. Go
What are
ahead,
you gonna
go
say?
ahead. No, I said I thought we was already off. My bad. Go ahead.
And then Ken, once again, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for showing up, man. I really do appreciate that, man. It's always a good pleasure. But we're out, man. I hope you guys like the show.
Yeah, man.
Peace, peace.
Catch
Peace
y'all
out.
guys next Saturday.